What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame. Are you stuck thinking Frost is a defense frame, used only for his globe to defend an objective? Well, you're playing him wrong. So this is my glass cannon Nuke Frost versus level 5000 and above. This build isn't supposed to be tanky, and I will only be utilizing his kit with a subsumed ability, and the weapons being used are for utility purposes only, nothing else. This build was originally released by Ludens a while back, so big shout out to him. He does amazing fashion cinematics and fun videos, including the odd builds. Go check him out, but of course I put my little twist onto it since the helmet system got released. Now, you might be wondering, how am I one-shotting these high-level enemies without armor stripping? That's all to do with Snow Globe's hidden special mechanic that people never really bother with. So when you cast Snow Globe, your globe will knock back enemies, and if the enemy collides with walls, obstacles, or each other, that collision damage will be dealt as true damage, and this is 50% true damage to the enemy's maximum health. Pure true damage ignores all forms of defenses from armor and shields. Unfortunately, this true damage does not scale with power strength and is set in stone. So now, what is making me consistently one-shot these enemies? So, if you apply 10 stacks of viral on enemies, they will take 325% multiplicative health damage. Now combine this with true damage dealt to the maximum health, you get infinite, scaling, true damage, basically absolute massacre. But there are enemies who are immune to knockbacks, like Kuva Guardians, Demolists, and basically any rare enemy that is immune to knockback. As long as you aren't dealing with them, this build is just disgusting. The globe itself has a 4 seconds of invulnerability after it's been cast, so it gives you that small layer of survivability and breathing room. Now, since I can't rely for enemies to collide on walls or obstacles, I can have them collide with each other. For that, we need to group up enemies. And there are 2 ways of me grouping up enemies efficiently, and that's with Exodia Hunt and my subsumed ability, Ensnare, from Khora. Now, you might be wondering, why not run Larva? And here's why. Larva will ragdoll, and it doesn't keep enemies still and doesn't synergize with Exodia Hunt. And Ensnare has great crowd control even with low duration, because enemies pulled by the initial target will continue to be ensnared with a 75% of the total duration while it continues to pull in more unaffected enemies. It's a vicious cycle, and this is why Larva would be horrible for this build. I did replace his first ability since his other abilities benefit with this mass crowd control nuke setup. Speaking of pull synergy, Exodia Hunt is a Za Arcane where it has slam attacks pull in enemies within a 12-meter radius, and this pull is an aura that surrounds you and picks up enemies as well. Enemies that are affected by Exodia Hunt will be staggered and dazed, unable to attack. They're also susceptible to stealth multipliers and open to finishers. So this is another layer of crowd control. So the combo is pretty simple. Once you pull in enemies with either Ensnare or Exodia Hunt, proc viral, jump, press 3, that's it. Simple yet damn strong. Remember, this is a glass cannon build, so you need the CC. You will do a lot of damage, but there's a chance of dying. Alright, let's take a look at the build. Brief respite in the aura. This will convert energy spent to shields. This works like the auger mods, but it doesn't add up on overshields. The more energy spent, the more shields you gain. This is another way to abuse shield gating. Even though I'm using the Decaying Dragon key, Frost still has a lot of shields. Prime Sure-Footed in the X-List for the 100% knockdown resistance. Xmas Fire Blast waves still mess you up mid-air. If you don't have this, you can always use Handspring. Remember, spending less time on your but is a huge DPS increase. Max efficiency with a rank 4 fleeting and streamline, prime flow for the large energy pool. Since this is a caster build, it needs all the energy and efficiency. With 50% duration, my Ensnare will have 7.5 seconds of duration and a 1 second pull effect delay. But that's why I combine Exodia Hunt into this build to pull them in faster or drag enemies towards the ensnared target. And this duration is more than enough, to be honest, because you don't want his 4th ability Freeze to last as long. Since I'll be using Arcane Eruption, knockdown enemies will not be knocked back, but in most cases Eruption will save you. That extra layer of CC is also super useful. Rolling Guard for the 3 seconds of invulnerability and status cleansing. Enemy Sense for the consistent 30-meter enemy radar. No point for Vigilante since I won't be using any primaries. Range at 220% with overextended and augur reach, increases the range of my ensnare capture radius and snow globe radius. Power strength means diddly on this build, and of course natural talent for the increase in casting speed. Trust me, you will notice a huge difference. Energize for the energy regen and eruption for the crowd control, knocking down enemies when you pick up an energy orb. The weapons I'll be using is a magnetic Kufa Nuke and a Dogram Zaw. The Nuke modded for utility and status proccing. No damage mods required, just elemental mods and other utility mods. And the Dogram modded with attack speed mods and range. Sacrificial Steel is to help trigger Berserker more consistently. And of course, don't forget Exodia Hunt in the Arcane. And that's it. It is truly a degenerate build, and big ups to Ludens. Anyway, this is the ultimate nuking Frost. Try it out for yourself. Anyway, that has been it from this video. I do hope you've enjoyed and learned something, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe. For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace. And if DE nerfs this, Pepe laugh, Pepe look.